Okay, so now we're going to look at number 1 in Set G on page 241. So I'm in Set G. We're going to be doing partial product method to find the total product of 16 times 35. Okay, you're going to be responsible for doing your evens. I've circled them for you. I'm going to work out numbers 1, 5, and 9. I'm going to color code, so if you want to get some colors set, there's my colors. Orange, purple, red, pink, and green. If you want to match me, by all means do so. All right, yep, you can see my whole page. So number 1, they want us to find a product of 18 times 34. Now that's really hard to do in our head, but if we use, sorry about that, I want to zoom in to make it easier for you to see. If we use color coding and these partial product steps, it'll be easier for you. Okay, so the first thing I need to do is I'm going to restack my problem. 18 times 34. I want it to look like that. Okay, and the first number that I want to use to multiply with is my 4. That's my ones on the bottoms. We're going to follow the same pattern and same rules of math as we would if we were to multiply these using the regular or standard algorithm. So the first thing I'm going to do is 4 times 8. Okay, then I'm going to do 4 times 10. And the reason why I'm going to do that, I'm going to make my 10s purple actually. I'll make my 10s place value purple. Is because we know that there's 8 ones, right? This is really 30. If we were to break that apart, it would be 30 times 4 and 10 times 8, or plus, excuse me, 30 plus 4 and 10 plus 8, if we were to use the distributive property like that. Okay, so that's where I'm getting my numbers from here. We know that we multiply our ones first, which is this value. 8 times 4 is 32. Be very careful that you put your ones in the ones place value and the tens in the tens place value. The next thing we want to do is multiply our 4 times our 110. So there's 4 times 10 here. Now we know a 10 has 1 eyeball. We need to make sure that we represent that place value first when we work at this method with partial products. The next thing we're going to do is 4 times 1 with our basic math fact of 4. Okay, so I'm done with my 4. I don't need to worry about that anymore. So now I'm going to start multiplying, right? Because there's our 4 we're done with. Now we multiply 3 tens, or 30, times both 8 and 10. So it will look like this. So then we'll have 30 times 8 and then 30 times 10. So we're basically using the distributive property just in a little bit different way. Okay, now I could still, and here's your loop. There's your 30 times 8 here, and then 30 times 10, or 30 times 8 and 30 times 10. Okay, you could see it gets like a jumbled up mess when we have double digits, when we're trying to lasso numbers. So I like to show them this way, so I could show you that first we did 4 times 8, right? And then we did 4 times 10. But then we have to do 30 times 8 and 30 times 10. So let's work this out with our place values first. So there's my 0. We know that's going to be in the ones place value, so we want to make sure that we do our 0 or our eyeball first, and then do our multiplication fact. 8 times 3, 24. So we get 240. 30 groups of 8 or 8 groups of 30 equals 240 groups. 240 total, excuse me. Now I know that I'm multiplying by 2 base 10 numbers. I've got 2 zeros for place value. I want to put my 2 zeros in first, or eyeballs. I like them eyeballs. It makes it more fun. And then our basic fact of 3 times 1, which is 3. So 30 groups of 10 or 10 groups of 30 equals 300. There's our partial products. We add those all together. We have 2 ones. 4 plus 4 is 8, 9, 10, 11. Carry the 10 tens over there, which equals 100. 10 times 10 is 100. Or 10 groups of 10 is 100. Either way you say it is correct. So 300 plus 200 plus 100, 3, 4, 5, 600. And that is our total product. Okay, so there's number 1. Take your total product of 612 and log it here. It is okay if you write your product underneath if you write big. I'm not picky about that. I just want to have it circled, and then I want to be able to see your work for the work that we're doing together in your math notebook. All right, let's scoot over. We can do number 2, and I can just put page 241, set G at the top to keep me on track. And it's not number 2, excuse me, number 5. I forgot I skipped. And I don't want to do all your work for you. Okay, so we've got 22 times 66. Oh, I want to share something with you. If you're not sure, you do these problems. So let's say you're working on your even ones, and I haven't done those with you, okay? Once you get to this point and you find a total product, grab your calculator and multiply 18 times 34. If you get a total product of 612, you know that you're right. If you don't, I don't want you going on to the next problem. I want you to stick with that problem until you can figure out where your multiplication is wrong, okay? Okay, because there's no sense, why you ask? Because there's no sense doing problems wrong. Don't keep going on the same problems. If you can't get one and you can't figure out where your mistake is, come to class, ask me in the morning, we'll work it out together, or during class when we have time. During small group, when you come see me, we can do it then. So we have plenty of time together to work these out. Okay, let's tackle number 5, which is 22 times 66. I'm gonna switch colors just for the fun of it. So my 10s are going to be pink, and my 1s are gonna be green. I'm gonna write it out a little bit different way for you so you can see this part a little bit better. So I've got my 10s are pink, my 1s are gonna be green. I wanna break this apart for 20 plus 2. I'm gonna break it apart first. And then we're gonna multiply that by 60 plus, oops, 1s are green, not pink, although pink is my favorite color, okay? So these two problems are exactly the same. They are true. 22 times 66, 22 times 66. They are the same. The value or end result will be exactly the same. It just depends on how you want to multiply it. So again, I want to stack it. Okay, so I'm going to have 22 times 66 because it's easier for me. Whoops, I don't need that big of a line. It's easier for me to view it this way. And then I'm going to color code my 1s this way, And I'm gonna color code my tens like this, okay? And I'm gonna circle them down here too, but I wanna be able to keep going, and then we'll color code at the end, okay? So the first thing we have to do is multiply our bottom ones to our top, with our top ones. So 6 times 2, we know that's going to be 12. I line up my ones and my tens. The next thing I'm gonna do is multiply my 6 times my 2 tens, which is 20, okay? Now we wanna represent that place value, that base 10 place value. We know that that 0 is gonna be in the ones place value, so we need to hold that place. And then we can do our basic math fact of 6 times 2, and that is 12. The next, and I'm done with this 6. So I'm gonna hop over to 6 tens. I know that 6 tens are 60, and I'm gonna multiply that 6 tens times 2 ones. So 60 times 2. There's my base 10. I want to save that place value again, and then I can do my basic fact of 6 times 2, which is, oops, 12. And again, it's 120, because 6 times 20 up here is 120, so I know that 60 times 2 is going to be 120, because 6 times 2, 6 times 2. See how it's just a reverse? Okay. Then I am done with this one. I can cross that ones out, those 2 ones out, and I am going to multiply 60 times 20. So my next one is 60 times 20. Now, I need to hold both of these place values for these tens number first. So I've got 2 eyeballs. I'm going to put my eyeballs in first, and then I can tackle my basic math fact of 6 times 2, which I know is 12, because I've been doing it this entire time. I need to add all of my partial products together. I've already got them in place value rows: 2 ones, 2, 4, 5 tens, 2, 3, 4 hundreds, and 1,000. So my total product is 1,452. I need to take, whoops, I need to take my total product amount, 1,452, and write it in there. Okay? And I also have some more room on my page, so let me adjust just a little bit, and we can do number 9 together. Oops. I need to move it up so you can see the rest of the page. Okay. There we go. Okay. So let's do, let me move this just a hair, number 9. And again, we're on page 241, set G. And I'm gonna try to zoom in so you could see it a little bit better. All right, so we have 93 times 44, okay? Again, I'm gonna break up the 93, it's 90 plus 3 times 40 plus 4. I'm gonna rewrite it, 93 times 44. I'm gonna do my ones first. 4 times 3, that's 12. Then I'm going to multiply 4 times 9 tens, which is 4 times 90. I need to represent that 10 and hold that place value of that base 10. And then I can do my basic math fact. 9 times 4 is 36. And I'm done with this 4. I'm going to hop over to my tens. 4 tens is valued at 40, and I'm going to multiply my 4 tens times my 3 ones. Again, I have a base 10 that I need to represent in my partial product, so I'm going to hold that place value, and then I can multiply using my basic fact of 4 times 3, which is 12. I'm done with that 3 in my ones value, and now I'm going to multiply 4 tens, which is 40, times 9 tens, which is 90. And don't forget, now we have 2 base 10s that we have to represent, and when we put those together, 10 times 10 is 100, so we get 2 zeros to represent our hundreds place value. And then we have 9 times 4, we know that is 36 as a partial product, and we can add those all together. We can put our equal sign here because 12 is equal to 4 times 3. 360 is equal to 4 times 90. 120 is equal to 40 times 3. 3,600 or 3,600 is equal to 40 times 90. We have 2 ones, 6, 7, 8, 9 tens, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hundreds. So we have to 10 times 10 is 100 times 100 is 1,000. So we need to plunk that over there. 3,000 plus 1,000 is 4,000. We get 4,092 as our total product. Okay, now I promised you I would color code, and I will. So all of our tens, I'm gonna color code in pink. I have 9 and 4. I have 9 and 4, or 90 and 40. 90 and 40. Okay, that's how those match. Then I have 3 ones, 3 ones, 3 ones, 4 ones, 4 ones, and 4 ones. Doing it like this at the top only to show you how this works out all together. And then I can do my 2 ones, my tens, I'm going to use purple for hundreds. There's my hundreds that I carried over, right? That represents 10 hundreds, which is 1,000. I know I said it wrong earlier, but 10 times 100 is 1,000, not 100 times 100. So I'm correcting my mistake. Okay, first one to tell me about that gets to put 5 beans in the jar. And then our thousands is represented with a 4 there, okay, in orange. Now, we're not done yet. We have to take our 4,092 and we have to put it in 4,092. We have to put it over here so that I know that you did that. Okay, I want you to do set G, 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10 on your own. You can work with your team, of course, because you have your group together. Use each other's brains because we're much smarter when we work together.